choices. We all have to make them every day. The choices we make today will impact the future of our lives. Madam Toastmaster, guest, and fellow Toastmasters. The Bible tells us, and the king will answer, truly I tell you, anything you did for one of my brothers here, however insignificant, you did it for me. It was late in the evening. The darkness had blanketed the day. Dale and the kids were already in bed. I'm sure the kids were asleep. I doubt Dale was asleep yet. I was preparing to watch the evening news. Well, perhaps the sports news, because I didn't really care about what the news was going to tell me. Never was very much there that interested me anyway during that period. I was just about to settle into my big, comfortable chair. A chair that I had inherited from my mom and dad. Stole, maybe? Dale and I had it recovered, but it was the most comfortable chair that I have ever had. I was just about to sit down. And my dog, Jessie, came walking into the room. She sniffed around and said, "Hi, how are you?" And I, looking at the television, making sure the volume was correct, plopped back into my chair. It received me like the hand of a beautiful lady putting on a kid glove. I propped my feet up on the ottoman, and Jessie came and put herself down under my legs between the chair and the ottoman. And I was ready to watch the news. I was ready to hear what sports teams had achieved greatness for that day. And then, I heard a tap, tap, tap. Well, I thought maybe it was Dale. So I just sort of waited to see if she was coming up front. Jessie raised her head as if something was going on. Then she plopped it back down. And then tap, tap, tap again, a little louder. By this time, Jessie sprung to her feet and let out a bark that would wake the dead. It even shocked me. I jumped to my feet, made a few quick steps towards the door. By now, my heart is racing and my curiosity is out the roof. I quickly walk over and open the door. And I pull it open. And there, facing me in the storm door, was a young lady, about 5'5". Couldn't have been more than 16 or 17 years old. She said, "Please help. Please help me." I quickly noticed that she was covered with dirt. She looked like she had been crying. I also noticed something that disturbed me a little bit. There were scratches and bruises on her arms and face. My choice was to ignore the situation or open the door. Well, I opened the door. She said, "Thank you. My boyfriend is chasing me. He beat me up. I've been hiding under your car, and I saw the light in your window. And so I came to you." So I allowed her to come in. Took her into the kitchen, sat her down at the table. By now, Dale was, of course, awakened and had come to the kitchen. She was surprised to see this young lady sitting at our table. But there's one thing I didn't share with you just yet. She was expecting. Dale's motherly instincts quickly kicked in. She picked up a towel, washed the young girl's face, cleaned her wounds, and brought her a clean t-shirt. We didn't know exactly what to do, but we decided it was probably best for us to call the authorities. So I called the police. And of course, y'all know how quickly they come to. 15 or 20 minutes later, they finally arrived, and they came in the door. And we assessed the situation and decided that perhaps we should call an ambulance. Because what Dale had noticed was a young lady perhaps was also in labor. The ambulance, of course, arrived much quicker than the police officers did. They came in and assessed the situation and said, yes, we probably need to take the young lady on to the hospital. Out the door they go. Police chasing behind them. And Dale and I sit there and say, wow, what just happened? What just happened? Well, the reason I read the scripture is because it says, basically, what you do to the least of these, you also do unto me. What has that got to do with choices? Well, Dale and I had choices to make. Those choices may not have impacted our lives so much, but they did impact the life of that young lady. Now, we did hear a couple days later that she had delivered a baby boy. We also heard that her boyfriend had been arrested, which was the good news. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have choices to make. Choices that define our future. Now, Maria made choices, Dale and I made choices, and those choices, some good and some not so good, but at the end of the day, we believe that the choices that we made not only made us better for who we are, but perhaps saved the life of a young child, perhaps saved the life of a young lady. So what are the choices you're making? Whatever those choices are, I would ask you to do this. Make sure that the choice you make is going to be one that your future life is going to thank you for. Madam Toastmaster.